What's up, ladies and gents? How the devil? It's time once again for the best BBC News Roundup, probably the only BBC News Roundup, but that's by the by, in the world. It's the BBC Spews, of course. And I'm your host, the Angry Bootneck. And yes, I'm angry all of the time, because I have to read the bastard BBC all week, so you don't have to. Honestly, I had to cut it down this week. I cut it down to 6 stories, but I could have went on. It is endless, unending drivel. Every single page you click on, there's a link to something to do with identity politics, gay rights, rabid lefty activism, nonsense. There's loads of stuff. I had a deep 6, didn't include it in this week's roundup because I haven't got time. Look at this gay swimmer. Look at this gay black swimmer from Jamaica. Look at this trans man with a wig on and he's got his confidence back because he's got hair again. It's like the shit that we pay for is unbelievable. It would be a better spend of taxpayers' money to just pay a ton of people to go around burying bags of money and then pay a load more people to go around digging them up again. Like, it's shameful. Shameful that the BBC is still in existence. I've joked about it before, it should be wiped off the face of the earth. Not only should it be defunded, we should completely dismantle it, bulldoze the building, salt the fucking earth, and deny the BBC was ever a thing. And obviously BBC means something else, right? That's an acronym for something not news related. We could just pretend it was that. Said, oh yeah, we just had like a giant gay harem in the middle of London, and that was where, you could go and get some BBC, because I don't want to even talk about the news organisation. It's despicable. So let's get on with it, shall we? Because I'll be here all week. First things first. UK passport photo checker shows bias against dark-skinned women. Well, therefore, racist, sexist patriarchy. Yeah? All of this stuff is digital. It's a programme. It's an algorithm. Who cares? Well, no, not to the BBC. It's proof positive that Boris Johnson is Goebbels incarnate, and he spends his weekends goose-stepping around Kensington. Everyone knows that. Dickhead. Says women with darker skin are more than twice as likely to be told their photos fail UK passport rules when they submit them online, according to a BBC investigation. Just the wording. Like, first of all, more than twice as likely to be told their photos fail rules when they submit them online. It's not like more than twice as likely to get pulled over by the police. More than twice as likely to be beaten to death, which in England isn't true. It's less likely to be beaten up by the police, less likely to die in custody, and about 5 times more likely to get a university education. So we know the facts, BBC, about the things that really matter in life, like getting a good education and not getting killed. And the bottom rung of that little metric paradigm is Johnny White Man. So I suggest you get off your fucking high horse. Let's read on, shall we? One student said she was told her mouth looked open each time she uploaded 5 different photos to the government website. Well, that is scandalous. That is proof. Because the robots thought her mouth looked like it was open, presumably because it was a bit darker. Well, therefore, despicable. Therefore, neo-Nazis. Therefore, Jacob Rees-Mogg wants to shovel her and her entire extended family into a giant oven. Yeah? Everyone knows this. Of course they do. This shows how systemic racism can spread. Does it? Does that show it? Really? A computer? Yep, that shows it. Yeah, of course it does. Over 9 million people have used this service and our systems are improving. We will continue to develop it. The app uses an automated check to detect poor quality photos which don't meet the rules. This includes having a neutral expression and looking straight at the camera. BBC research found this check to be less accurate on darker skinned people. Yeah, there you go. And they've put all these little quantifiable statistics in there, little percentages and that. Oh my God, dark-skinned men are told their photos are poor quality 15% of the time. Well, twist my nipples and call me Frank. That is a despicable indictment of the UK. It's definitely not a fair country, right? They might be less likely to die in police custody and more likely to get promoted and more likely to go to college and more likely to get more money. But no, that's it's not on that. We clearly need to rip the rule book, burn down the Houses of Parliament and dismantle the UK as a functioning country. Just get rid of the whole thing and create a new one from scratch, because that's dead easy. Fuck it. Look, they've even done a chart. Automated checks give low scores to women. Oh my god, photos graded poor quality. One US-based researcher said the system's a result of developers being careless. Or white supremacists. Now, the developers might be in the Ku Klux Klan. You know that little organisation that's apparently got about 4,000 basement-dwelling shut-ins in it and doesn't actually do anything or matter anymore, but is still 50 billion column inches every fucking year, as if everywhere you go, you bump into a Klan rally. Like, the threat from them is over-exaggerated by a factor of 10,000. Like, I've been to Alabama. I've never seen anyone with a pointy fucking hood on setting fire to a cross. Never. The way they talk, you'd think there's one on every fucking corner. You walk your dog, whoop, trip over a burning cross. Whoops, sorry about that. Tap round the corner, there's a bloke with a pointy hat on. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So, that's a load of shite. The system doesn't work for everyone. Yeah, the system being the Western world. It doesn't work for everyone. It just gets us in university much easier than you dirty, dirty cracker morpho. Let's move on, shall we? This one I included because it doesn't sound that bad, but it's actually toxic. It says British gymnasts mistreatment allegations. Athletes cannot heal, says Ali Reisman. I'm not going to play the video, even though Ali Reisman's quite tidy, because I just want you to focus on the words she uses here. It says gymnasts will not be able to heal if an investigation into allegations of mistreatment in British gymnastics takes a long time, says Ali Reisman. You don't see a problem with that initial sentence? They won't be able to heal if the investigation takes a long time, which is a synonym when you're carrying out a detective case, yeah, when you're on the case, Sherlock's on it. Don't take a long time is a synonym for hurry the fuck up, don't do your job properly. We've cast a few allegations around, that'll do. We know the penis-wielding oppressors are always guilty. They are always guilty. So fuck it, you don't have to take a long time. Let's just toss them in the cell and eat the fucking key. Tinkler submitted a complaint over allegations of mistreatment and they were dismissed in August. She said, it's so devastating and it's heartbreaking because as a little girl you dream about going to the Olympics. So it's devastating to hear that someone was accused of something and he got off. Presumably because there was no evidence. Because that's what we do in courts, right? We don't just decide things on a whim. We look for evidence, and if there isn't any evidence, you get off with it. Now, there's a slim chance that it was a miscarriage of justice. That happens. But generally, we get it right. That's why we keep the system the way it is. Generally, we get it right. So, I'm sorry, ladies, we can't just tear the rule book up and change it. We can't just go from... I mean, what is your hypothesis? What do you think we should be doing moving forward? Should we just go, right, here's the new rule, everyone. If a woman ever accuses a man of anything, he's definitely guilty. And he gets 50 lashes and sent to the salt mines, right? That's fair. Because women definitely haven't got just the same capacity for lies as men, right? Definitely haven't. Again, who's the fucking feminist? Me? I think women are just as clever as men. Just as capable. Mentally. But we won't talk about that now. And most importantly, just as capable of being devious. Woman's just as capable of lying as a man. Moira Hindley, if you don't know who she is, young people. Moira Hindley and her mate Ian raped and butchered children and buried them on the moors. So Moira there, you can see she's not an upstanding citizen by those cold, dead eyes that she's got. So I don't think women are always right. I don't think women are always good. And I do think women can tell a lie. I'm holding my hands up. If that makes me a fucking Nazi, let me know. Ladies, let me know. But I think, bluff old traditionalist that I am, that we should keep the system and you're innocent until proven guilty. And we do a lengthy, thorough and proper investigation when somebody gets accused of something. Ali Reisman and all these gymnastics girls don't, right? If it takes a long time, we won't heal, so fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Guilty, guilty, guilty. See you later, losers. I'm off ski. Next up, Marcus Rashford becomes an MBE, right? What for? What amazing feat did he do that we should all be astounded by? Let's have a look, shall we? Marcus Rashford's become an MBE in the honours list. 22 years old, so probably He must have been at it since he was a sperm. Yeah, a long time. Been at this for decades. Decades of public commitment to get an MBE, right? Right? Wrong. None of you the right colour in 2020. We all know the crack, right? He campaigned for the government to allow for 1.3 million children to claim free school meal vouchers in England's summer holidays during the coronavirus pandemic. What, didn't give his own money? No. What, he didn't spend any of his own cash? No. What, he asked the government to continue doing a thing it was doing anyway with bus drivers, plumbers and bricklayers' taxes, even though he's a multi-millionaire. Yeah. Doesn't sound like a lot of work. So after it was imposed on the UK, the government provided vouchers to families, so they did it on their own. But then they said it was going to stop at the summer holidays. He wrote an open letter to MPs, alright, called on the government to reverse its decision, and it shortly did so. So the kids still got free vouchers over the holidays, and he asked some of the UK's biggest food brands to try and help reduce child poverty. So he's done about 3 weeks' work there then, eh? About 3 weeks' work. Nice one. Well, good for him. 3 weeks' work, didn't cost him any fucking money, yeah? 3 weeks' work, no money, got an MBE. Winner, yeah, definitely deserve that. That's almost as bad as Johnson Bihari's Victoria Cross, do you remember that? When I was in Afghanistan, Johnson Bihari got a Victoria Cross in Iraq, right? That was in 2004. You know what he did? He was driving an armoured vehicle, and then they got ambushed and they were hit with some RPGs, and he drove off, as you would do when you get an RPG shot on you, and he got a Victoria Cross for that, because he got a head injury. So, yeah, weird that, innit? You know what my mate Andy did? He strapped himself to the wing of a fucking Apache, which had never been done before, because it's not a fucking passenger helicopter, yeah? It's not like getting off a Chinook, it's a fucking mobile, it's a gunship. It's a flying tank without any crew compartment. So, after they lost a man in a compound packed to the bastard rafters with angry Taliban, it jumped and sat on the wing of one, flew back in to a fucking hostile war zone under fire, yeah, getting the rounds down from the wing like a fucking mammoth bollocked comic book hero, and jumped off and grabbed the guy's body and then fucked off, sat on his helicopter, sat on his flying tank. And there's a nice video about this. I'll actually share that because that's quite a cool video. We are the mighty. Anyways, they strapped themselves onto Apaches and rode into the enemy compound. You know what they got? You know what they got for that? A fucking long weekend. In Dundee. Who the fuck wants to get a weekend? The Taliban don't want to go to Dundee for a weekend. Fuck me. Johnson Bihari, he drove an armoured vehicle for a bit. Well, he gets a Victoria Cross. We all know why. And I think it's fair to say, if he was called fucking Alan Smith and he was as pasty as my hairy northern arse, he would get fuck all for his low effort Twitter slacktivism, which everybody else paid for anyway. So, fuck off, Marcus. Yeah. Share the MBE amongst the bus drivers and the fucking cashiers that work in the grocery stores up and down the country, because they're the ones paying for the bastard's food, while he's getting 50 grand a week for doing less work than the ship's cat. Cheers, easy. Moving on, transgender women in rugby union. This is comedy gold. I cannot fucking believe this. And this is being celebrated as a win. Posey Parker talked about this one. That's where I thought they had to look for it for. Only 3 minutes it's been up, so I got that nice and early. It says World Rugby's decision to prevent transgender women from competing at the highest levels has provoked a mixed reaction. The move has been criticised by LGBT charity Stonewall, while some women's rights and gay campaigners have welcomed the decision. New guidelines published Friday do not recommend transgender women play contact rugby on safety grounds. No fucking shit. If you're American and you haven't watched much rugby, well, allow me to show you some.
Avec un petit peu de réussite, Holmes. Bras ou pas? Exactement. Et alors attention pour Fritz, il est attention à cette passe. Le temps.
En plus, il est dans la position idéale pour le plaqueur puisqu'il a les mains.
Flat ball to Priestland, and then Homer taken down by Tikaratu, but didn't look as though there were a lot of harm.
Oh! Fuck me. Right, so the point is, that's rugby. There's 6 minutes worth of them. I'll put that link in for you because there's some fucking crackers on there. But imagine.
By Ticker didn't look as though there were a lot of arm.
Oh, and Billy Meeks came through and absolutely hammered.
Imagine that. If it's a trans man. Yeah, 27-year-old, spent his early 20s donkeying into birds, getting mortal, fighting in the car park. Yeah, does a bit of boxing on a weekend. And then he goes, you know what? I can get a fucking gold medal if I start doing this as a bird. So he tucks his fucking lengthy 10-inch throbbing clitoris between his legs and he cracks on the women's team. And then he goes up against a 110-pound, 5'2", gutsy, brave, but ultimately scrawny fucking dwarf, and he does that. Oh! See you fucking later, broken neck, you sparrow-boned Jezebel. That's what you get when you put fucking geezers in women's rugby. I'm sorry if anyone finds that offensive. I haven't got a problem with the trans community, I haven't. Everyone should be free to live their life however they see fit. But don't tell me that if we fucking let trans men compete with women in rugby, some poor bastard isn't going to get the fucking neck snapped. Because I guarantee,
Absolutely.
if that was Jonah Lomu thundering into a fucking woman, he'd probably snap a neck and a back, even if he's wearing a wig. Yeah, doesn't matter if he's got a wig on and he's been on the fucking testosterone depressants for 18 months. She's fucked. He was bathed in testosterone in the womb, in his adolescence, in his teenage years. You can't change your skeletal system and your cartilage and your tendons and your muscles by calling you Susan and sticking a bra on. So it's ridiculous. And I don't want it on my conscience if some poor bastard ends up like Stephen fucking Hawking after a game of rugby. So let's just have it said right now, it's an absurd idea. Yeah? Stonewall said it's deeply disappointed, but fair play for women. Thank World Rugby for not trading away women's safety. Spot on. Stonewall are fucking terrifying. They are insane, brainwashed, full-on indoctrinated, hardcore commies. You read Stonewall's website and you think, you know what, McCarthyism needs to make a fucking glorious comeback. McCarthyism 2, electric boogaloo, free helicopter rides for batty activists, because it's the maddest fucking thing I've ever seen. So yeah, sanity has prevailed for a very short period of time, except for one caveat. It is only at the elite level of the sport. So in like amateur rugby, they're going to be cracking on. So lock up your daughters, ladies and gents, if they play amateur rugby, because they might still get the fucking head caved in by a burly labourer named Frank on a weekend. Cheers, Frank. I have to play one bit of video. Some of them are fucking... In fact, I will show you 30 seconds of one that I couldn't bring myself to put in because it was so bad. But look at this one here. It's... A wig changed my life and gave me my confidence back. Just check this fucking geezer out.
Having a hair system, it makes me feel empowered. I feel that my confidence comes back when I've got my...
Can you mince it up any more aggressively than that? Like, that is the most sexually aggressive gay man I've ever seen. Like, he's such an aggressive homosexual, no matter the fact that he looks quite scrawny. When he's on the job, I reckon he's like, like a bull at the fucking gate. That is madness. So I'm not even going to go with that one. That one is getting... I had to see it, so you have to. Let's just ignore that one and go back to being black at Cambridge University, right? We've already seen that the biggest, most stitched up group by a factor of 5 is young white working class men. They don't get to go to university anymore. We don't live in a class society anymore. We live in a colour society, and basically it's apartheid Britain. And if you're black and poor, you get to go to university. If you're white and poor, you don't. Welcome to fucking bizarro world apartheid South Africa, because that's what you're living in. If you're in a council estate, if you're watching this video from a decrepit, urine-stenched hovel in the north of England, tough titty, you aren't getting to go to college unless you're black. Sorry, that's just the way it is in fair Britain, yeah?
For black students studying at one of the most prestigious universities in the world, academic pressure isn't always the only challenge.
It's the same as the actors and everything over here, isn't it? It's the luckier you are and the more privileged you are, the more you whinge. Because you feel left out. When everyone's at the protests going, oh, I've got it so hard, you feel left out because victimhood is a currency. So what you've got to do is you've got to go, even though my life's mint, even though I'm at Cambridge, one of the best universities on planet Earth, I'm a victim. Like, it's like you there, minimum wage Polish man who's carrying bricks in the rain for 10 hours. Privileged. I'm the unlucky one here. You fucking scumbag. Take a knee. It's unbelievable. Like I said, Oprah Winfrey wants to tell me that I'm the lucky one and she's been fucking stitched up all her life. Do me a fucking favour.
For some, it can feel like entering a new world.
You feel like you have to be strong, you know?
Strong.
My mum keeps saying to me, just keep fighting. Just keep going, just get that degree.
Just keep fighting. You know what I said in my last one? But they all want to feel like the warriors. We're warriors. We're tough. Yeah, there was people marching through the comrades' blood and brains in the Battle of the Somme in World War II. But these are all in Cambridge. Soft as shite, air-conditioned offices, skinny latte, nothing. And they're like, oh, we have to fight. It's so hard. Try carrying bricks, put a hod on your back, stack it with breeze blocks, and carry it up and down a ladder 40 fucking times on a morning in the rain. Try that and get back to me. Get back to me. Let me know which you prefer.
Over the years, Oxford and Cambridge universities have come under pressure for their lack of ethnic diversity.
For the lack of ethnic
I think it's a place
in a country that's 90% white. Statistically, if you just do basic maths, if the country's 90% white and more than 10% of the people there are black or minority ethnic, they are represented, they are overrepresented, right? So it's like they're 10% of the country, but they have to be at least 50% of the CEOs and the BBC staff and the sports and the athletes and the actors and the singers and the posh university graduates, yeah? Fair, that's fair. And if you don't agree, it's got nothing to do with maths. Yeah, shut up. I don't want to hear about maths. You're a Nazi. So, fuck off.
where race has not been acknowledged as relevant, particularly to the whole intellectual experience of being at Cambridge.
Last year at Cambridge, the numbers improved on previous years, with the university accepting a record number of 91 black British undergraduates.
Yeah, it looks white as fuck, Cambridge, yeah. You can see there, you'd wander around going, this is shit this, I just want to be around my own people. Fuck me. Maybe the archives got messed up. This is like Freetown University in Sierra Leone.
But beyond numbers is the experience. I'm Ashley John Baptiste, a BBC reporter, but also a Cambridge graduate myself. And whilst I'm so glad...
Yeah, he works for the BBC, he went to Cambridge. Poor bastard. Poor bastard. He envies the malnourished, chain-smoking gutter snipes sleeping in the bus shelters of Middlesbrough. He envies them. He's like, look at those jammy bastards.
I studied there as a mixed-race South Londoner who grew up in care. It felt worlds apart from what I was used to. And nearly 10 years on from my own time, I want to find out what life at Cambridge has been like for a new wave of black British freshers.
Anyway, I'm not doing the whole thing. It's 12 minutes of rabid identity politics. All they care about is what you look like. All they care about is the colour of your skin. All they care about is your immutable characteristics. And best of all, they call it progress. They call it progress. Going back to segregation, being obsessed with the colour of your skin, they call it progress. It's madness. They have the balls to call that progress, and they have the audacity to tell scrawny, toothless, malnourished smackheads on streets in places like Middlesbrough and Hartlepool and Stockton and Hull that they are the privileged ones. Yeah. Reasonable. And last one, because you've got to put at least one proper story on there, right? This is actual news. Man jailed for trying to arrange baby sexual abuse. How long do you reckon he got in jail? What do you reckon? Ballpark figure. Yeah, it's not just some filthy twat who's chasing young girls. A baby. Yeah. It's not like, oh, you met a 14-year-old in a nightclub and she looked like she was old enough. It's a fucking a baby rape. Like, I've used that for comedy. I'll say, oh, you treated him like a baby raper. But you don't really think that's a thing, do you? You don't really think it's a thing. Guess how long he got? Any idea? 2 year. 2 year. He wants to snap what would, I'm assuming, I mean, I don't even know. I don't know how big a baby. There's no, like, age. It just says baby. So if it's, like, tiny, I'm assuming that would basically, like, be strapping on some sort of lumpy condom. Don't know what pleasure the sick freak gets out of it, but I'm assuming it would kill a kid, or at least severely fuck them up for the rest of their life. And 2 year. 2 fucking years it is. There we go. I'm aping my my avatar there. How bad's that? Seriously, that would only be acceptable if it was 2 years at the bottom of a fucking pond. Yeah, with concrete wellies on. What? Everything about Britain is fucked. It's identity politics, gay rights, everybody hates you if you're a straight white man, you don't get any advantages, you're on the bottom rung for your whole entire life, stay on your piss-soaked fucking floorboards, you council estate scum. So Cambridge and Oxbridge universities now, they're just for upper-class twats and black people. You boys just fuck off, carry them bricks up them ladders, and don't dare complain about it. Oh, by the way, and if people rape your kids, well, we'll just give them 2 years, cause fuck it, right? It's only poor working class scum that are the victims of most of these crimes, so fuck them. That's why we get grooming gangs, go on for decades, nobody does anything about it because nobody gives a flying fuck about you losers. That's the BBC for a week. I am filled with rage, just how I like it. My rage boner is gonna burst out of my shorts. Job done. Fucking nice one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.